Welcome to English Tips and Podcast.
Listen, practice, and learn.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of our English podcast. I'm Olivia.
And I am Ethan. If you're here, it means you're ready to learn English with fun and useful conversations.
All right. Today we're talking all about family, and we're going to share some really useful expressions and phrases you can use to talk confidently about your family in English.
That's right. We're here to help you feel confident speaking English step by step. So, Olivia, let me ask you a question. When was the last time you really spent time with your family? No phones, no distractions, just being together and talking. Those moments when you're fully present.
Yeah, Ethan, that's a really good question. Honestly, it's been a while. Life gets so busy with work and everything else. I honestly can't remember the last time we just sat down and connected like that. Thinking about it now, I really miss those times. The laughter, the deep talks, just being with each other.
Exactly. Those small moments are what make family so meaningful. We get busy, but family is always there, waiting for us to pause and reconnect. For me, the last time was during the weekend. My family and I had a barbecue in the garden, and it was so simple but so special. These little moments really remind us how valuable family is.
Totally. And that's what we want to share with our listeners today. Family is more than just relatives. It's about connection, support, and love.
So, Olivia, how do you think growing up with our families shapes the way we connect with others later in life?
That's a really good question. I think our families set the foundation for how we treat people. For example, my parents were always so supportive when I was growing up. Every time I had a school performance, like a play or a music recital, they showed up and sat right in the front row. Seeing their faces in the audience made me feel safe and confident. That experience taught me that being present for others is one of the biggest ways to show love and care. Now, as an adult, I try to be that person for my friends and colleagues. I listen, I encourage them, and I celebrate their wins.
I love that. I can relate, but in a different way. For me, it was about the tough moments in school. Whenever I struggled with exams or felt like giving up, my dad always stayed up late with me, helping me study or just encouraging me not to quit. At the time, I didn't fully understand how important that was, but now I realize it taught me that real support means being there when it really matters. Today, I try to do the same for my friends and colleagues, showing up for them, especially when they're going through something difficult.
In English, we can say, my parents brought me up with good values. To bring up children means to raise them and teach them life lessons.
Families teach us important principles like patience, kindness, and respect. They're our first school. Now, let's look at some common expressions and talk about them.
And since we're already talking about family, we'll share some simple but powerful expressions you can use in everyday conversation.
Perfect. Let's start with something really common, how to describe the size of your family.
Sounds good, Olivia. If you have a large family with lots of brothers and sisters, you can say, I come from a big family. I come from a big family.
I come from a big family. And the opposite, I come from a small family. Can you say that?
I come from a small family. Nice. And if you have no brothers or sisters, you'd probably say, I was an only child.
Notice the use of was. We use was because you're no longer a child. Of course, you could say, I am an only child, but normally we use the past.
Exactly. And if you have siblings like 2 brothers and 2 sisters, you can say, I was one of 5 siblings. Siblings means brothers and sisters, including yourself.
Nice. I have one sibling, a younger brother. He's funny, but sometimes annoying, as younger brothers usually are.
Nice. And I have 2 siblings, one older brother and one younger sister. Leave me a comment below. How many siblings do you have? I'm curious.
All right, here's a tip. In everyday English, people usually just say brothers and sisters. But the word siblings is really useful in expressions like sibling rivalry. And this is where brothers and sisters compete against each other and try always to be better.
True. There was definitely a lot of sibling rivalry in my family.
And remember, instead of saying, my family has 4 family members, the natural way is, there are 4 of us in my family. So, Ethan, how many people are in your family?
Oh, right. There are 5 of us in my family. That sounds much more natural.
Great. Leave me a comment below. Let me know the size of your family. You know, Ethan, family isn't just around for the fun times. They're also there when life gets tough. I remember once I was having a horrible week at work, and I came home to find my brother waiting with a box of donuts. We didn't even talk about work, just sat, ate, and laughed. That simple moment reminded me that family always had your back.
That's really nice. And it's true, sometimes the little things matter the most. I remember when I was stuck making a huge decision about moving cities. My sister didn't try to solve it for me, she just listened, and honestly, that was enough.
Exactly. And they're also the ones who encourage us when we're ready to give up. My dad always tells me, if you doubt yourself, remember I don't doubt you. That line has carried me through some dark days.
That's powerful. For me, it was my mom. She always said, every mistake is just proof you're trying. I still hear that in my head when I mess things up.
See, that's why family gives us more than support. They give us a sense of belonging. No matter where you are in the world, you know you have a place to come back to.
Oh, yes. When I first moved out, I was super excited to be independent, but after a few months, I started missing home. Not the house, but that feeling of being surrounded by people who know you inside and out.
And that sense of belonging shapes the way we build other relationships, friends, coworkers, even our own family one day.
Exactly. Growing up in a close family teaches you trust, respect, how to communicate, how to care. It's like invisible training for the rest of your life.
And you see it in people, right? Those with strong family bonds often handle emotions better and form healthier relationships.
Totally. And it's not just personal, it impacts society too. Strong families create strong communities.
Absolutely. And family has such a big impact on mental health. For me, spending a Sunday with my family feels like pressing the reset button.
Like free therapy. A while back, I was drowning in deadlines. Then we had a family barbecue, music, food, laughter, and suddenly all the stress just melted away.
Exactly. It lifts you up. And it even helps kids succeed. My niece used to hate reading, but after spending evenings with my brother, just reading stories together, she actually started enjoying it. And her grades improved.
Same here. When I was a kid, my mom used to sit next to me while I did homework. She didn't really help, but just her being there kept me focused. That presence made a difference.
And beyond school, families teach us life lessons. My grandma, for example, always reminded me to slow down. She'd say, patience makes everything sweeter.
That's so sweet. For me, it was my granddad. He used to say, work hard, but don't forget to be kind. That's something I've carried with me to this day.
See, it's those little lessons that shape who we become. Family doesn't just support us, they build us.
You know, Olivia, I really believe when people grow up in a loving, supportive family, they carry that energy into the world. It's like a chain reaction. Strong families create stronger communities.
Totally. And it doesn't mean families have to be perfect because let's be honest, no family is perfect. But it's about showing up for each other through the good times and the messy ones. That's what makes it special.
Yeah, it's those little things, the inside jokes, the weekend meals, even silly arguments sometimes. All those moments build stronger bonds and give us that sense of belonging we talked about earlier.
Exactly. At the end of the day, family gives us the love and support we need to face life's challenges. They shape us, teach us, and push us to become better versions of ourselves.
So maybe this is a good reminder for anyone listening. Call your parents, text your brother or sister, or just sit down and share a meal together. Those moments matter more than we realize.
Yes, cherish the time you have because one day those little moments will be the big memories. Okay, even. A lot of students often ask me if the examiner says, "Tell me about your family," should I talk about my nuclear family or my extended family?
Oh, that's a classic question. And honestly, the quick answer is it's up to you. You can decide whichever feels more natural.
Exactly. Like before the age of 20, most people usually talk about their parents, brothers, sisters, grandparents, maybe even a few uncles and aunts. That's what we call the extended family.
Right. But later in life, things change. If you're lucky, you might fall in love.
Hopefully with a human, not pizza.
True. And you make a long-term commitment. Maybe you get married. Maybe you have children. That becomes your nuclear family.
And just to be clear, nuclear family has nothing to do with nuclear bombs.
Although, sometimes family arguments can feel like an explosion.
Very true. But basically, nuclear family means your partner and children if you have them.
So, bottom line, you can talk about either your nuclear family, your extended family, or even both. It's your choice.
So, Ethan, we've been talking a lot about family in general, but what about kids? Let's dive into that because raising children brings its own set of challenges and, of course, expressions in English.
Good idea. By the way, Olivia, do you actually have any kids?
No, not yet. And you?
Nope. But hey, if any of our listeners have children, let us know in the comments. Practice writing in English. Tell us if you're a parent.
Great idea. So let's be honest. When people become parents, especially in the early days, they want to take care of their kids so much. But sometimes they do too much.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where these expressions come in handy. The first one is overprotective. If you're overprotective, it means you protect your children too much, like wrapping them in bubble wrap before they go outside.
Right. My mom used to tell me not to run because I might fall. That's a little overprotective.
The second one is to spoil your children. That means giving them everything they want whenever they want it. Ice cream for breakfast, a new toy every day, spoiling.
Yeah, I've seen parents do that. The kids end up throwing tantrums when they don't get what they want.
And finally, my favorite expression, to spoon feed.
Literally, spoon feeding is when you feed a baby with a spoon.
Exactly. But figuratively, it means doing everything for them, even when they're old enough to do it themselves. Imagine spoon feeding your 15-year-old.
That would be terrible. The point is, if you always spoon feed your children, they don't learn independence.
Right. Parents should let their kids face little challenges so they can look after themselves in the big wide world.
Exactly. So let's move on and talk about parents. Have you noticed how sometimes kids look exactly like their parents?
Oh, totally. Like, I've seen kids who are basically mini photocopies of their dads. You could say, I'm the spitting image of my father.
Yeah, but sometimes it's more about personality. Like, I definitely take after my mom. She's super organized.
Really? I take after my dad too, but in being totally unorganized. My desk looks like a crime scene.
No kidding, I've seen it. But hey, that's a good phrase, to take after your parents.
Right. And here's another one. My parents brought me up with good values. Basically, they taught you right from wrong.
Unless your parents are like Ethan's and taught you that socks and sandals are acceptable.
Hey, that's cultural fashion, okay?
Sure, let's call it that. Anyway, in today's world, families often live far apart. So you might say, I don't see a lot of my parents. Not because of bad vibes, just distance.
Yeah. And sadly, sometimes people have to say, my parents have passed away.
A very natural and respectful way to put it.
Okay, let's switch gears to partners. Husbands, wives, or just partners. It's a more inclusive word these days.
Right, because not everyone's married. Now, about love, you know that magical moment in movies? It was love at first sight.
Or, I fell for him instantly.
Yeah, but sometimes it's just we clicked. Like Olivia and Coffee, instant connection.
Guilty. But let's be real. Relationships aren't always Hollywood-style fireworks. Sometimes it's more like we grew to love each other over time.
Exactly. And then there's the famous idiom, blood is thicker than water, basically meaning family comes first. Do you believe that?
Depends. But hey, family does stick around even when you wear socks with sandals.
You're never gonna let that go, are you?
Nope. Anyway, let's wrap up with a sample answer to the classic question, tell me about your family.
You might say, I'm from a medium-sized family, the youngest of 3 siblings. We argue sometimes, but we always make up. I don't see them much because I live abroad, but we stay in touch online.
Then about parents. I take after my dad, and I'm the spitting image of him. From my mom, I got a love of cooking. Sadly, she passed away many years ago.
About partners? I've been married for many years. We're like chalk and cheese. Totally different, but that keeps life interesting. My partner is more of a control freak, while I'm super laid back.
And about children. Our daughter is basically a mix of us, but honestly, she's smarter and better looking than both of us put together.
That's what all parents say, but in this case, it's true.
So, listeners, today we've gone through tons of useful family phrases, parents, siblings, partners, and children.
Remember, the goal is to sound natural and confident.
Exactly. Books help, but hearing it spoken gives you the real rhythm and feel.
So keep practicing, and maybe avoid socks with sandals.
See, family teaches us values, but friends roast us for life. And that wraps up today's video. We really hope you've enjoyed today's conversation about family and how much it shapes who we are.
Remember, family is such a huge part of life. Cherish those connections, nurture them, and don't forget to share your own family stories with us in the comments. We'd love to hear them. And of course, your learning doesn't stop here. Check out the next video or dive into the ones we've selected for you.
But before you go, here's today's little challenge. Reach out to someone in your family. Call them, text them, or just say, I love you. Even a short moment can mean so much.
No excuses. Do it today, not tomorrow.
Because at the end of the day, family really is everything.
And if you're lucky, maybe they'll even forgive you for stealing that last slice of pizza.
Or maybe not, but at least they'll still love you.
Thanks for watching, take care, and see you next time.